President Donald Trump loved himself some QAnon supporters yesterday during a press conference. Take a look.
The movement, other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate, but I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me.
All right, so, hey, look, that's the only thing that matters to Donald Trump. They supposedly really like me, and so they're great people. They love America. Okay, look, there's no way he doesn't know who QAnon is. He has to know. He has to know. Why? It's because they pop up at his rallies all the time. It's because he retweets QAnon-related accounts all the time. The guy's got to know. He has to know. He has to know. And so I think what he's doing there is he's playing coy, right? Because, okay, couple of reasons, right? For one, he absolutely loves that QAnon loves him. And he's kind of bragging a little bit about, supposedly they really like me. And so, but I don't know too much about him, right? And of course, that's to avoid the scrutiny. So look, and the scrutiny comes from some recent reports where, these QAnon members are, there are a lot more QAnon members than had been originally thought. In fact, there's millions of people now who believe in this, and it's spreading all over social media. It's spreading all over, like, you can't go on my Facebook feed without seeing like the hashtag that was co-opted, save the children, right? And so what I mean by co-opted is that they've taken that hashtag, which is a good hashtag, right? Everybody wants to save the children. And they've been starting to use it to spread their message around. And again, it sounds, it starts out innocently enough where it's like, oh yeah, we want to stop, trafficking, children or our victims, and they're powerful people in positions of power. And then it goes to, oh, by the way, did you hear Hillary Clinton eats babies? What? I'm sorry. Where did it go from saving children of, and victims of trafficking, which certainly does happen, to satanic pedophile cult, filled with Democrats? Wait, what? Whoa. That goes immediately into crazy town. But understand that's how conspiracies start, and that's how conspiracies spread. And it's also how they get, how they turn like suburban wine mom who, goes onto Facebook to talk with her kids, right? Or like, watch a couple of funny cat videos, why they're suddenly like turning into, people who are wearing Q stickers and going, Donald Trump, you don't understand. We've got to vote for him to save the children. Hillary's eating them, and then they're cooking them up with the spirit cooking and all this crazy nonsense, and it's by design. And so now, speaking of the crazy nonsense, it's amazing, like that Donald Trump is like, I don't know anything about them, and so going on that, right? This reporter is going to be like, okay, well, here's what it's about. Are you sure you haven't heard anything? And this is that entire thing.
Just real quick, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are, actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow.
Wait. Radical left ideology that will destroy America and then the world. Did anybody not? I know the focus is on like, oh, I'm the QAnon stuff, and I'm willing to, defend the world or whatever, defend the country, put myself out there to wait. The left is destroying the world. Did he basically shadow call? I don't know if that's the right terminology, but basically offhandedly call the left like secret pedos, and that right there would go along with QAnon. So he definitely, I'm pretty sure he knows. I'm pretty sure he knows what this is about and is smart enough to actually do a little subtext. At least in that, a little bit of a wink and a nod, right? At least that's where I get that. And so as far as what problem, right, is he solving? Is QAnon solving? They're not solving any problems. Not in reality, right? In reality, they've been threatening innocent people. Remember that story? One guy went into a pizza parlor, right, where they could swear, they swear that that's where children were being held and tortured and horrible things, right? So this guy hears about this, watches a bunch of videos, and he's like, "Oh my God, I gotta do something. I gotta save the children." And so he busts into a pizza parlor with a gun and starts shooting at employees, demanding that they release the children. Right? There were no children there, at least, not the ones that, he thought were in danger, right? In reality, he put children in danger by, becoming the danger by threatening people with a gun. But, and it's not the only incident that's happened in relation to QAnon, to these crazy conspiracy theories. In fact, people at Wayfair have been targeted, right? Because, now it's Wayfair that is packaging children inside of pieces of furniture and doing it that way, and so now Q's he's all over it. He's on it. No, he's not. This is backed up by nothing. This is a ridiculous conspiracy theory that started in the depths of 4chan and made its way, and now the president of the United States is openly entertaining these insane people. That's not to say that there isn't actually trafficking. And so this is the ultimate, a sad part about this story. Okay. Is that, yes, there's trafficking, and yes, we're trying to fight it, but QAnon is getting in the way of that. Okay. Because they're not helping to fight trafficking. What they're doing is that they're making up smears in order to damage politicians that don't agree with them, that don't agree with their politics. And so all of this has been turned political, and it's actually getting in the way of fighting actual real trafficking. And so, and of course, the right-wing grift industrial complex jumps in, and you get QAnon crazies that are running for Congress in order to get power. One example is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a member of the QAnon movement and also has a history of saying racist and anti-Semitic comments. She will be winning her general election, or is favored to win in fall. She will be a congresswoman. Okay. Another QAnon supporter, very famous, Laura Loomer, right? Laura Loomer won a Republican primary in Florida. So now from what I hear about that race, it's a Democratic district, so she's likely not to win, but she's winning primaries. That means the Republican voters are primed to support her, right? Primed to support people like this. They're using this insanity to try to win elections and get into power. I mean, and they're doing it again in the worst way, because who doesn't want to stop child trafficking? Everybody wants to stop it. Pedophilia is one of the worst things imaginable. And, and this movement, or at least its proponents and some of its adherents, are using it and preying on normal people, normies, right? and radicalizing them into conspiracies. They're pulling them down this rabbit hole where Hillary Clinton's eating children to survive. As much as I don't like Hillary Clinton, right? I'm pretty sure she's not eating babies or drinking blood in order to stay youthful, because it hasn't really worked all that well. Just look at a picture of her, right? Doesn't look all that youthful. Um, or like the plot of Monsters Inc. is essentially partly true. I mean, look it up. The draining the adrenochrome or some crap like that in order to do this life serum or life extension technology or something out of Alex Jones. It's insanity. It's just complete and utter insanity. And again, I say this is no love for the Clintons, and somebody who believes that there are people in power that abuse their power and use that power to abuse women, and yes, in some cases, children. And so there are predators that do get into high positions of power, or people who are connected. Again, you've got Jeffrey Epstein, right? You had Ghislaine Maxwell. You had, congressmen, people in government, Ralph Shorty, Paul Peterson, Mike Fulmer. These are people that had attained levels of power that either used that power to abuse, children, or were in possession of certain, lewd pictures of, minors. And so, yes, these are predators that are in power. QAnon has done nothing to fight them. No, there are actual real organizations out there. If you do care about this, then you would contact these organizations and you would help them, and not sit back and keyboard warrior against Hillary Clinton and Democrats in power, because that doesn't help solve trafficking. You're just peddling nonsense. And as for Trump, and by the way, while you're peddling nonsense, real people are being harmed. So now, as for Trump, though, look, Trump, he's got the blessing of QAnon, okay? And he's boosted a lot of their affiliated accounts. So there's no way that he doesn't know what he's doing. Because here's the thing, Donald Trump loves himself, right? That's the thing he loves more than anything, is himself. And so when he hears a theory, a conspiracy theory about like he's the secret hero fighting a secret war against bad people, right? He's front and center in this. And that's like, for him, it's like, oh, I love me some of that. Yes, I am the hero. I am fighting against bad people who happen to be politically misaligned with myself, and so that's convenient. And also, this entire thing ignores Donald Trump's own alleged improprieties, including his contact with Jeffrey Epstein, the fact that he has had private parties with Epstein, and might have possibly known something about that abuse. But unfortunately, facts do not matter to a lot of these people because they are incredibly far gone. And so, as you've seen, they live in their own made up world where everybody's wrong, or where they're right, everybody else is wrong. And even worse, they're part of the vast conspiracy to try to take down their hero, the one who's actually fighting the real good fight.